Welcome to another episode of Game Boy Roulette, where we take a look at randomly chosen games from the Game Boy library. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. Hell yeah. I cannot properly express to my younger viewers just how massive the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers were in the 90s, mixing stock footage from Japanese show Super Sentai with new footage of American actors. It was an instant hit and became a phenomenon that turned it into a billion-dollar franchise and created so many spin-offs, it'd probably take this whole video to list them all. We all had our favorite original Power Ranger, mine was the Blue Ranger, love you Billy, and our own favorite villain. Actually no, we all loved Rita Repulsa. Looking back, the show was unbelievably cheesy, but that's what gave it its charm. The mix of action, teen drama, and big fighting robots was a perfect 90s combination that had us all glued to our screens every Saturday morning. The first movie was a huge deal, and while it didn't exactly set the screen on fire, we didn't care. It was more Power Rangers, and so we loved it. But now we have to address the elephant Zord in the room. There really weren't many good Power Rangers games. Nowadays, you can probably find a couple good ones, but companies were rushing to cash in so quickly in the 90s that they typically didn't have time for things like testing or fun, so the good games were few and far in between. I had the Genesis fighting game, which was not a very pleasant experience. But can this game finally give me the Power Rangers gaming experience I've always dreamed of? Well, probably not, because it's made by Tom Create, a company I've never heard of and who made very few memorable games. Although they did make a Pingu game, so we got that going for us. It's also hard to overstate how unbelievably cool the White Ranger was, as evidenced by this box art. He had his own look, his own style, super unique weapons, and most importantly, we all know the Dragon Zord was the best of all of them. God, I need to rewatch this show. But not before I try the game. It's Morphin Time with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. Hell yeah, there they are. The famous 6 of them. Oh, this rules already. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. Or, if you look at that text, it kind of looks like it says the Novi. Let's do this. Oh, what? Is this like fighting game? Or just a, like, stage select? Uh-oh. wait, which one's Billy? Shoot. I can't tell, they're all black and white. You. I hope you're Billy. Whoa. Cool transition. Well, it's a beat 'em up. Probably the way to go for Power Rangers. Just walking on beating up putties. A to jump, B to attack. Oh god, it's like Kung Fu, which you'll recall was a big game on the NES. But my power meter's about to get to full. Let's see what happens. Select. Yes! Oh god, my eyes. And it changes literally nothing. I appear to be doing the same moves. Okay, now what? Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's just kind of a boring beat 'em up. I will say it looks great. And the music is fantastic. Ooh, what's this? I can't pick up that broccoli. I mean, look at this background. This is a well-done background. What? Okay. That was weird. Ah, fight one of those. I mean, I'll say this. It's moving very well. Like, it's not slow. And yeah, the Kung Fu comparison's obvious, but Kung Fu was fine for what it was. Boom. Quality Game Boy explosion. I think the biggest thing hurting this game is that you can't tell which Ranger is which. You know what? Hang on. I want to see if there's... Ooh. That's a cool background. I want to see if there's a difference between the characters. Weirdly enough, there are differences, but it's split into 2 categories. Half the Rangers hit harder, but can't jump as high. Half the Rangers can both jump higher and move faster, but don't do as much damage. And if you're wondering which category of Ranger I am also wondering that, because the game doesn't specify. You know, now that I'm getting more used to the controls, it's not bad at all. This game has some cool stuff going for it. Oh my god, it's him. Shoot, which one? What was he? It's not Bulk or Skull, is it? No, they were the bullies. You know what? I'll look it up after this. Because this is going to drive me crazy all night if I don't do this. Boom. Now explode. Yeah. You. And we'll be, you. Looks like their jumping's a little better. Bats! All video games require bats. That boss, by the way, was Mordant, who I have no memory of. Also, the name of this boss that we just, the level we picked is Man-Sized Rat. Which, you know what? I don't think it's wrong. I don't know, as a beat-em-up, I'm actually kind of okay with this so far. Oh, wait a sec. Is this a actual maze? Maybe there's a little bit of level variety? Oh god. Hi. I don't know if this is a maze, but we're at least getting a little bit of variety in how the stages are laid out. That's kind of cool. Ah. The ooze. What? Who? Where? How? It's nothing special. I have played better beat-em-ups, but you know what? I actually would still call this game above average. It's totally solid gameplay, maybe not doing anything. Man-sized rat! Never mind, game of the year. Yeah, it's not doing anything particularly amazing gameplay-wise, but it also, I wouldn't say it feels bland. It's doing enough to at least feel like something, you know? And maybe it comes down to nostalgia. Maybe it comes down to just being, you know, I loved Power Rangers as a kid. But it does look good, sounds good, and plays totally fine. And sometimes I would say, it doesn't, you know, it's just sort of forgettable. But I think this one does enough to avoid being forgettable. And that's really important. Where to next? Oh, Lord Zed. Man, listen to this groovy music. Oh, goodbye. But for what it's doing, I'm enjoying it. It's another case of one of those games that looks better than it plays, but it's the way it plays. You know, maybe it's a bit simple in terms of beat-em-ups, but it's totally functional and fun. The level variety is kind of cool. This game gets a thumbs up from me. Maybe it's not the biggest thumbs up ever, but I mean, sometimes you just want a simple side-scrolling beat-em-up game. And like I said, I certainly think it does more than some of the more bland games we've played recently. Like, look at this. Oh my god, look at that. Sure wish I could use that weapon in combat. Rather amazingly, I think that's the best Power Rangers game I've ever played. Now, that's not the highest bar to clear, because as I've said, most Power Rangers games aren't that impressive. But for what it's worth, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie actually stands up decently well on its own, if not spectacularly, as a Game Boy game. There was nothing super exciting about the gameplay, with the only innovation being the ability to morph and become stronger, while the attacks themselves were pretty basic. But the gameplay was totally fine, standard but satisfying beat-em-up style, with some bosses mixed in, and a splash of variety in the level design. I do wish you could tell who each Power Ranger was, and that there was some difference between them individually, but breaking them into two groups was at least something. But I find myself comparing this to another game we played recently, Mickey's Dangerous Chase. Both were simple and functional, both didn't do anything super spectacular, so why is my thumb far more up for this game than that one? To be frank, I don't know if I have a concrete answer for that. Maybe it's that this game felt a bit faster, with more action happening due to the number of enemies. Maybe it's the slight level variety, and the ability to pick your level out of a pool to begin with, that made this game feel fresher. Or maybe it's just plain nostalgia, since I loved Power Rangers and was never into Mickey Mouse. But I really do think this game just did a little bit more, had just enough tweaks on the standard formula to rise above feeling average and forgettable. There's also the fact that most Power Rangers games were pretty bad, so having one that actually plays well was a bit of a miracle. So whether you're a Power Rangers fan or just looking for a relatively fun beat-em-up, I think Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie is a good choice. But this game definitely should have been on Game Boy Color. I just don't think Shades of Grey Rangers has the same ring to it. And that's all for another episode of Game Boy Roulette. Make sure to like the video, comment, and subscribe to follow the series as we continue to dig through the Game Boy vault. I'm Brian J, and I'll see you next time.